I'm Artsy Gamer 7 and welcome back to another Create a Sim here on the channel. We are continuing on with the Legend of Zelda Create a Sim series that I am doing, like a little mini Create a Sim. I don't know how long I'm going to do this one. I'm partially sort of seeing how long my D&D cast goes versus with the D&D Mansion, because those two are eventually leading up to one series that combines. So basically this series will probably last as long as the speed build of the D&D Mansion is going on, partially because just to fill in the space for letting the D&D cast finished and go into the little mini series that it and the speed build is going to. But also, I never planned on this one being too long. I do eventually want to do some more Legend of Zelda casts, but for now, this was just... Technically, it was supposed to be like a filler for while I uploaded the old content, but because I had issues with recording stuff, it didn't end up working out that way. I wasn't able to actually properly record things. As you could tell by the last video, my Ouroboros, I lost pretty much all the footage. So I was hesitant and didn't want to record any more of it until I got things figured out and settled. So we're back with actual full-on Create a Sim, where you get to see the full-on process. And today we are creating Queen Oren. So like I mentioned I think I mentioned it in the Ouroboros. I definitely know I mentioned it in Midness. I know with the Ouroboros I was talking about some of the issues I ran into, so may have forgot to mention it, but I do have a little wheel spinner where I put a bunch of Legend of Zelda characters. I try to put some in that, like, I really loved and would love to create them. Ones that were really well known, really popular, ones that were, like, would probably be really fun to make a Create a Sim of. And there's some characters in that list that technically I personally haven't got to know, because either it's like one of the older games that I haven't got to play, or like in this case it's a DS game, and I do own this game. I just never played it. So something about, like, I love the DS, but at the same time I have a harder time picking the DS up compared to like the Switch or the Wii, or Xbox 360, or Xbox One. I'm going through all the different PlayStation 4, 3, 5, you know, the consoles. Anyway, so with the Switch, it's been sort of nice, just because it can be both a portable and a TV-based one. I just tend to like the TV ones. I don't know if it's partially because I can put it on the bigger screen. I don't know. Like, I like the portable games, and I like the DS, but I have a harder time playing on them for long periods of time, so I just never ended up actually playing A Link into the Past, even though I bought it immediately. So that is my bad. So this is technically a character that I personally do not know from playing the game. I had to read up about her, look some pictures up of her, and sort of go from there. I do know that she is the Queen of the Zoras from that game, and that you have to get her a smooth gem. Eventually she is captured and put into a painting. So I did read about her, and I do eventually want to play that game, and with how my memory is, I'll probably forget most of that stuff. Plus the wiki that I read doesn't tell you how to obtain the smooth gem or how to free her from the portrait. It just tells you the generic story. So, luckily, it was no spoilers for me solving the puzzles and stuff, which is some of the parts of Legend of Zelda I love. But, yeah. Anyway, so, I am attempting to create her today with what CC I have. Once again, when it comes to most of my Create a Sims, I don't go out looking for CC specifically for these characters. And I know for a fact that certain Legend of Zelda characters, there are CC creators out there that have made CC for them, and it looks amazing, and it's beautiful and stuff like that, but I don't go out purposely looking for them, because most of my CC is stuff like I may get it for a Create a Sim, but I don't know. Like, I've downloaded, like, fantasy type stuff, like Fairy Wings and stuff like this. I could use this in a Create a Sim at some point in time in the future, or if ever I want to play a series where I put in fairies in my game, or whatever, with my own stuff, or whatever. I do like occults and, like, the mix of the fantasy, but I don't try to bring specific game characters' costumes in. I'll get accessories. I'll get, like, necklaces, bracelets, things like that, because especially if they have alternate colors to them, I can make them go with any outfit and stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't try to download actual costumes because I feel like they're limiting that character to that particular look or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I don't go looking for any specific CC for these creative sims, but that's where I sort of like it because it's sort of a challenge to use what comes with the game, like what I have in my game and the CC that I have, to try to get it as close as possible and see where I could go from there. So it's sort of a fun thing for me not to have exact stuff for these characters and try my best to make it look like them as best as I can. So that's sort of the fun in these type of series for me personally. So yes, they're not going to look 100% like them. They're not going to have the replicated outfit on them whatsoever. I'm not sure if Queen Oren would be one of those. I feel like most of the ones that have outfits are people like Link and Zelda, Midna, some of the ones that follow closely to the main story, and though she is technically like a 7th sage, and she's, from what I read, she's a big, crucial part of the story, I don't think she's quite as big of a part like Navi or Midna or some of, those side characters that are still crucial to the story and what's going on, and a lot of times you see them more often than not, or at least hear about them more often than not. But, so I'm not even sure if she even would have an exact outfit, but, that's fine. Also, I made her a mermaid. Obviously, the point, she's Azora, that's why I made her a mermaid, but, I hate when you go to make mermaids, because it puts them on their mermaid look first, that it starts you off in the swim category, which is, in some cases, fine, and I rolled with it in this case, but because it is the swim category, there's some stuff that if it's not a skin detail, it won't carry over to when you go to the everyday look, and that sort of gets frustrating at times, but whatever, I'll deal. I'll just re-add the stuff later, but I sort of, none of the other cults start on a different outfit other than everyday, so I wished that the mermaids would do the same. I partially get why they do, because their mermaid form is only associated with swimming, but still. Come on. But yeah, so I am going to be transferring some stuff over from her swim look to her everyday look, and sometimes, I think I've cut that out before in the past, but I decided to just leave it in here for now, so that you could sort of see, and maybe this will be a learning thing for you, that if you ever try to do creative sims and videos like this in the future, or you're just creating, maybe you won't be dumb like me and just continue on making on the swim category and realize that you needed to be on the everyday category so that some of this stuff carries over, for the most part. Not all of it, obviously. But still. Anyway, but yeah, so I do make her a swim outfit, I fix her mermaid look, and I give her an everyday outfit just because of the purpose of what she is. I always do the everyday outfits. That's usually where I try to make the main outfit the most like. But since she is Azora and I was making her a mermaid, that's why I went ahead and did the swimwear looks as well. Ultimately, in the end, I'm pretty happy with her. Now, am I 100% happy with her? No. Partially because I wish I could have gotten closer than what I got, but the little fins off the side of the head, I couldn't really make them orange except for the top ones, and even those, they're not as bright as an orange. I didn't have a headpiece that necessarily worked for her. I think clothing-wise, for the most part, I got pretty good, but she does, I don't know if it's actually part of her clothing or part of her skin, but she does have some white around on her stomach and stuff that I couldn't really pull across very much, but considering I was just trying to do the best I could with what I had, I think I got pretty close, and I'm ultimately pretty happy with her out in the end. I will say, I think so Midna was my start, and Midna is one of my favorite characters all time of any Zelda game. I love Midna so much. But I think in some ways that made Midna almost harder to do for me, because I did like that character so much. So I was being very picky about things, versus with Queen Oren here, I don't know her very well. I don't have a connection with her because I haven't got to play the game. I really like the Zoras though, Mifa and Rutelia, they're some of my favorite characters as well, and they are both Zoras. I like Prince Sidon as well. So I love the Zoras as like a race in Legend of Zelda, probably my favorite race out of all of them. So I do like connect to her in that fact because she is a Zora, but ultimately I haven't played the game. I don't know her very well, so I don't know if maybe I would have had a stronger connection with the character, if that would have made this harder, like it did with Midna. Or Urbosa, more, I really liked that character, so more like with Midna, but not quite as much because I do like Midna more, personally. So yeah, but I don't know if that's why maybe I did find it a little bit smoother in some parts to actually fix her up. If she was just, she's got a pretty simple design to her for the most part, other than like some of the head pieces that are going on up there, which is what I had some of the harder struggles with. So maybe without those being the way they were, maybe she would have been even easier. Maybe it's just her simple design. Maybe it's, like I said, because I just don't know her very well. But I hope you like how she did turn out. Let me know down in the comments below if you've played A Link Between Worlds. Let me know if you really like the game. Like I said, I would really like to actually finally sit down and play that game at some point in time. I have a lot going on in my life right now, though, so I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. It probably won't be until after September, after the wedding. So yeah. But hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the creation of Queen Oren. If so, hit that lovely like button, subscribe, you know that lovely YouTube goodiness. Also, share the video so that other people may enjoy it as well and see some of the future Legend of Zelda creations. Let me know also, what character do you hope is going to get created in the series? Like I said, I made a huge giant wheel. I put a bunch of names on it from multiple Legend of Zelda series. So, and like you can tell, some of them are ones that I haven't got to play myself just yet. So, I didn't want to include just the games that I played because I wanted a chance to at least get to know some of the characters from the other games, and also for those that like those games, they would possibly get a chance to see a character they liked from that game be created. So let me know your thoughts, and let me know what character maybe you're hoping will get created in this, and shit. But for now, I'm going to be ending the video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope to see you in the next one, but until then, bye bye!